So you just got your Katalyst suit in. First thing you should do, go watch the Katalyst intro video. It's actually great, but you're definitely gonna wanna do more than just simply putting the suit on and doing workouts if you want to get the muscle gains, if you wanna get the fat loss, if you want to get the explosive power and the strength gains that I saw. You're gonna have to do more than just put on the suit and work out. It's a lot of things. Some of it's lifestyle stuff, some of it is just knowing how to use the suit properly and how to get the most out of the suit for what you're trying to achieve. First thing, wet the undersuit down. Don't just wet the pads on the suit. Make sure you wet the undersuit. I started out rinsing off in the shower with the undersuit on, just as a way to speed up the suit up process. But I figured out later that the increased conductivity from the wetness of the undersuit was allowing the pads to connect better to my muscles, and I was able to push myself 50% harder because of that. Now, if you're in a location where you can't go rinse off in the shower, just use a spray bottle, fill it with hot water, and spray yourself down in all the areas you can get to. It'll increase your workouts substantially. Try it once, you might not like doing it otherwise after that. So girls or guys, for instance, your glutes. If you want to really dial up your glutes, then just spray them, get them all wet, and then crank them up in your suit workouts. I've never had my glutes, my hips freeze up on me in a workout. The two things that I've noticed freeze on me first is my arms, like I won't be able to move my arms, or if they start here, I won't be able to extend them, or my legs. I've gotten to where I can't move my legs, especially coming off a break, which I'll cover soon. Also, if there's pains in areas on your suit, the most likely place you're gonna get it is, say, in your abs or in your chest. The chest is the most likely in girls and guys with movements. The pad's gonna pull away. It's either an issue of fitment in the suit, like you need to strap down or you need to start from the bottom. Watch my suit up video. It covers a lot of that. I think it's called How I Suit Up. The undersuit is not wet, or the pads aren't wet enough. Wetting the undersuit down completely solves this problem, or adjustment of the pads. All right, second, now I don't think you need to dial the suit up to high levels to build muscle. If you want to get the substantial strength increase or explosive power like I did in my pull-ups, you need to dial the suit up to 90 to 95% of what you can do before you start freezing up. Like if you start to freeze up, dial it back. And that's gonna happen most likely in your arms or in your legs. If you are not pushing it to those levels where you have to fight against your muscles, where you have to scream over the impulses that the suit is giving to your muscles, you are not increasing that mind-muscle connection, and you're not strengthening and improving the neural pathways from your head to your muscles, and you're not going to be able to access as much muscle fibers as you would be able to if you did. Now, this makes the workouts much harder. So again, you don't have to do this. If you want to push yourself to your limits to get the most out of the suit, one workout out of every 2, or say 1 out of every 3, I want you to try to dial it up to 90%, dial it up higher than you've done before, and really push yourself on the edge of that mind-muscle connection. Now, a quick pro tip related to this: if you take a break, make sure you dial down the suit levels like 15 to 20%. Your mind-muscle connection almost resets correlative with the time of break. So if you just take a break for 20 seconds, you can probably just start it right back up and start right back into your workout where you left off. If you take a 2 or 3 minute break, you're gonna come back in, and if you were at the edge of that mind-muscle control, you will be frozen when the program starts back after the ramp up. So again, with that, you can do simple movements like a squat and a curl at the same time. That helps break you through that reconnection of the mind to the muscle, or just dial it down and do that too, but then go into the muscle movements that are more complex after you make sure that you're not frozen. All right, so next up here is diet. I'm gonna do a video in the future on eating nutritionally dense foods. I want you to try to go download an app called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. It scans barcodes in at the store, and it'll tell you on a scale of 1 to 100 how bad the food is for you. I try to stick with foods that are 60 or 70 out of 100 and higher. It'll give you a head start on trying to eat better, but I'll cover that in a future video. What I want to really hit on as far as the Katalyst suit is getting enough protein. So you need to get 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight that you have. Now, so I get a minimum of 200 grams of protein every single day. And with that, you want to make sure that you get at least 50 grams of protein with every meal that you eat. So protein is the fuel that is required to actually rebuild muscle. So every time you do a Katalyst suit workout, you're creating micro tears in all the muscle groups that the Katalyst suit hits, which is basically every major muscle group. So you're essentially cramming an entire week's worth of gym lifting weights into one suit workout that takes place over 20 minutes. So you need a substantial amount of protein on a daily basis to be able to provide the fuel to rebuild these muscles that you're breaking down. But on top of this, there's a ton of other benefits that protein gives us. It has a thermic effect. So what this means is for every 100 calories of protein you consume, it burns 20 to 30 of those calories just digesting and breaking down that protein. And this is compared to 5 to 10% in carbohydrates and 3% or less in fats. Protein's also way more satiating. So if you get that much protein in every single meal, you will feel more full. Like you will not be as hungry throughout the day. And because of its thermic effect, it's going to raise your metabolism, and most likely on most days is going to create a calorie deficit. Now, as you lose weight, you're not going to be losing muscle because you have all the building blocks to rebuild the muscle that you've been breaking down with the Katalyst suit. So it's going to pull from those fat stores when you create that caloric deficit. Because of this, even if you aren't working out, or even if you're in days when you don't think that you're needing that protein to rebuild that fuel, eat that high protein diet, because that's going to create a natural caloric deficit for you, and you're going to end up losing fat while not losing muscle. Now that 200 plus grams of protein that I get every single day, I'm not really able to get that just in food. So I supplement my protein with a protein powder called Isolate. I'm going to leave a link in the description. It's my favorite so far. It's got a really clean ingredient list. Every scoop gives me 20 grams of protein. And I'm telling you, if I drink 80 grams of that in a shake, I am full for a long time. Another little pro tip, or just a tip to help you through, is don't pay attention to the scale. You're going to be building muscle and losing fat. At day 30, I had lost 6 pounds from what I weighed before. Then at day 100, I weighed 2 more pounds than I weighed at the very beginning. So don't pay attention to the scale. Pay attention to what you see in the mirror. I urge you to take before pictures, or at least pictures as you sit right now, and then kind of take pictures every week or two, and those pictures really help keep you motivated. Seeing those changes, even if you don't see a huge drop on the scale, seeing those changes in your body composition are a huge motivating factor to keep you going with the suit. Moving on next, make sure you stay hydrated. And by this, I don't mean get a lot more water. I want you to go watch my hydration video if you have time. I'm going to give you the recipe here in a second. I'm talking about getting the electrolyte minerals that you need. We are severely deficient of these in our diets every single day, and there is no electrolyte drink that I have seen besides the one that I mix up for myself that is way less expensive than the competitors, that gets you 1/10 of the amount of potassium and magnesium that my mix gets you every single day. It's decently cheap, it tastes good, it gets you 3,000 milligrams of potassium every day, I think like 375 milligrams of magnesium. Both of those two minerals are the ones that you are sorely deficient of in your cells to be able to create the uptake in water, and also to create the electrical potential in your cells to create the healthy nerve pathways to run your muscles. And this includes flexing the muscles as well as allowing the muscles to relax. Again, watch my hydration video. It's huge. It's going to be one of the most important things that you watch. So since I started drinking this a year ago, I have not had a single cramp, a muscle spasm, any sort of trigger points. I haven't had plantar fasciitis. And also I was starting to get carpal tunnel using the keyboard. All of that is gone. For instance, I've walked 25 or 30 miles this week. I could never do that in my 20s or 30s without my feet killing me, or my hip flexors starting to cramp up, or something like that. I'm telling you, I feel the best I've felt in my entire life, and I'm attributing most of that to this hydration mix that I drink. All right, so let me show you this formula real quick. Take 1/3 cup of raw and unfiltered apple cider vinegar and 3 scoops of Dr. Berg's Electrolyte Powder, raspberry and lemon flavor, and mix these with 1/2 gallon of water. If it tastes tart, mix in a little more apple cider vinegar. If you can taste the vinegar, then add some electrolyte mix. It tastes great once you get it right. I now drink this 1/2 gallon every day, even in winter. Then I'll drink water after that if I'm still thirsty, like in the summer. Because it has a decent amount of flavor, you can add in any powder supplements you like. I personally add 5 grams of creatine and 2 to 3 grams of taurine in mine every day. I'll leave links in the description for these ingredients as well as the recipe. So how does this hydration apply to the suit? This summer I was hitting the suit really hard. End levels getting near 400 out of 480 on the suit, being able to work out extremely hard. I did find over the past few months that my ability to hit those high levels was degrading over time. And I thought maybe I was overtraining. At the end of my hydration video, I said I wasn't drinking my half gallon every day because I was listening to my thirst response. Well, what I realized is just because it's winter doesn't mean that your daily recommended amount of potassium and magnesium went down. So I wasn't getting as much potassium and magnesium as I was in the summer when I was thirsty and drinking that and then drinking water after. So I just did a test. I drank the entire half gallon every day. And then 4 days later, when I did my workout, I was able to go straight back to the highest levels that I was able to hit on the suit. It was pretty awesome to have the science actually meet reality in the fact that made me be able to have my neural pathways stronger to be able to fight the suit at higher suit levels. Absolutely crazy how obvious it was. All right, so next is make sure you're alternating between power and strength workouts. The difference between the power and strength workouts is more than just the additional reps and the faster reps that you do in the power workout. I ended up doing 4 strength workouts in a row that I realized I had done when I went to my activity screen. So I ended up doing a power workout, but I was really tired that day. So I didn't do the number of reps that they did in the workouts. In a strength workout, you might have 1 rep over the 4 seconds. In a power workout, you might have 3 or 4 reps over the 4 seconds. So I ended up doing kind of a strength amount of reps, like I did a single rep over the 4 seconds in the power workout. And I'm telling you, the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, I was the most sore I'd been since probably when I started the suit. It absolutely hits different muscle fibers. I had not hit those fast twitch muscle fibers for like 20 days. And man, they responded pretty hardcore to the suit in the power setting. Also, in addition to this, make sure you mix up different workouts. If you don't like a specific exercise within one of the workouts, just do your favorite exercise. Like for me, in a strength workout, if I don't like the strength exercise they're doing, I will do loaded squats. You know, stand up, or I will pulse at the bottom, like a 4 seconds of kind of bouncing in a loaded squat position, like either sumo squats or something like that. And then in the power setting, I will do jump squats. So if I don't like the exercise in a power workout, I will start loaded with my squats and I will jump as high as I can under tension, and then I will try to do that a couple times each rep. It kills me, it's an awesome exercise, and I make sure that I get it in on every single power workout I do. Okay, so moving on, the next thing that you wanna make sure that you do, I currently recommend waiting till you're kind of 90% recovered to do your next workout. For me, that ends up being day 5. Now, if you're wanting to do more workouts because you're wanting to increase fat loss, I recommend going and doing walks like 4 or 5 times a week. I'm currently working on a video that I think I mentioned before where I walk at least 5 days a week, and I'm gonna do that for 30 full days and take a picture every single day so that you can kind of see my fat loss progression if it ends up being that. If it doesn't, then it'll show. Either way, I'm gonna put the video out and I'll kind of have an idea of whether the walking was so significantly impactful or not. And also try to do these workouts in the morning or do your walks in the morning. It's great to be able to get that stuff out of the way before you lose motivation later in the day. It releases endorphins. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. If it's the hardest task that you have that day, it feels really good to get it out of the way. Make sure that you accomplish that feat so you don't get down on yourself that you didn't end up getting it done. Now, after my 30 days of walk, I'm going to try doing a suit workout Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for a full 30 days and see if the increase in workouts, I'm gonna do them at a lower level, but I'm gonna see if the increase in workouts ends up translating into additional muscle growth, or if it'll end up being more like an endurance training where my muscle will become more dense, but I actually might shrink a little bit. So I'm wanting to be able to get that all on video with daily progression photos so that you guys can have an idea of what the sweet spot is for what you wanna do. If you're wanting to lose weight, does working out in the suit more often at a slightly lower level raise your metabolism to increase your fat loss? Or if you're wanting to build muscle, does working out once a week at really, really high levels, is that what you wanna do? I'm hoping to have that stuff answered in the next 60 to 90 days because after the 30 days of working out 3 days a week, I'm gonna go back to working out as hard as I possibly can in the suit and just doing it once a week. Last one, it's boring, it sucks, stretching. Try to get stretching in 2 or 3 days a week. Your body is getting hit with so much, like you're doing an entire week's worth of gym lifting, right, in one 20-minute session. Your body is getting slammed with waste materials from your muscles, getting the micro tears. You know, you're having to process a lot of stuff. Make sure you stretch. It helps move things through your muscles. It helps everything. It'll keep you from cramping in addition to the hydration. I'm pretty bad at it. I only stretch probably once a week. I need to get way better at it, but I know that that's something that I need to improve on, and that's why I'm recommending it. All right, guys, I know this is probably one of my more boring videos, but if you like this content, if you're getting a Katalyst suit, if you're interested in improving your health, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, or you won't get notified when I put out a new video. Please like and share the channel with your friends, and I will see you guys next time.